So the second installment of my life mastery series is going to talk about how to actually start and run a successful business. And in order to start and run a successful business, you need the right assets. So today's video is going to be highly inspired by one of my favorite authors, Daniel Priestley. He's also a multi-seven-figure business owner. He's from Australia and he used to be in the UK. He's worked in both places and he makes some great content. He was featured on Ali Abdaal's podcast about a year and a half ago, maybe a bit longer than that. And it was because of that video that I've kind of stumbled across his work, and his books are amazing. So today's video is going to be heavily influenced by his book, The 24 Assets. And I think that anybody who wants to start a business, regardless of what kind of business it is, would really benefit from reading the 24 Assets book, because he talks about all the essential assets you have to put in place in order to get your business to a point that's profitable, to a point where you're getting plenty of new customers, to a point where you're basically happy with the way that it's going, because all the right tools are there. In his words, the right assets are there in order to get to the point where money is just flowing in, because it's money that follows assets. If you don't have the right assets in place, then you can't earn as much. But if you do have the right assets in place, then it's going to be much easier for you to run your business. And if you don't have those assets and you're running a business right now, you probably notice that you're spending a lot of time trying to deal with clients, or you're trying to spend a lot of time on things that you know you should be delegating to somebody else, and on things that aren't really helping you push the business forward. Or maybe you've been running this business for maybe 5 years or several years, and you're not really getting it to the point that you wanted to. And that's because it's an asset problem, not a hard work. If earning money was proportional to the amount of hard work you would put in, then there's a lot more people that would deserve to get paid more. Another essential business book called The E-Myth Revisited, but I'm thinking about making them into two separate videos, because the 24 Assets, it also talks about the same things that the E-Myth does, but the E-Myth just focuses on systems, whereas the 24 Assets book, it focuses on everything as a whole when it comes to your business. And it basically creates a step-by-step framework for you to design the business, or a business that just functions optimally. You also have to consider the type of business that you want to start. There's two broad types. There's a lifestyle business and there's a high performance business. So let's talk about creating a lifestyle business. In the past, people would only have the option of creating a business that required a physical space and something that made them tied to a specific location, and oftentimes that required them to be working in that location 24/7. Even if you've stopped working by dealing with your clients, you also had to do things like clean out the kitchen, or you had to do the trash. And this is all parts of a business that is very indicative of a business that's physical, whereas you can have an online business instead. But you don't need to do this anymore, because we have the internet. You can reach anybody anywhere in the world as long as they have an internet connection. No longer do you need to create a business with a physical storefront. The new digital storefront is a website. And a lifestyle business is lean, dynamic, portable, and geared towards maximizing income for their owners, and is a business that keeps stress and overheads low. And the focus of a lifestyle business is to create a life that you enjoy and work and have your business work for you, rather than you working for that business. On the opposite end, you can try to create a performance business. A performance business is where you put in a lot of time, you try and get investors to fund you, and then your main aim is to create a business with so much value that solves some big problem in the world, and then to IPO, or to sell that business for many multiples of what that business makes every single year. You need to decide on which one you want to have, because you can't do both. The default option for most business owners is trying to do a mixture of both, and it really doesn't work out well. And most business owners, they are stuck making reactive moves, because I've been there. I've experienced what it's like to not really push it in one direction or the other, but instead just kind of get stuck on what exactly I want it to be. Do I want it to be something that's national, or do I want it to be something that's lean and small, but still makes quite a decent amount of money without taking too much of my time? And if there's one thing that you get from this video, it should be that income follows assets. And this is something that you have to understand if you want your business to do well. If your business is struggling, then chances are you do not have the right assets in place. If we take a look at traditional assets, if you own a home, you can rent out that home to a tenant and you can make residual income. If you own stocks, then you can get paid a dividend. You can then sell the stocks as well. But income is following those assets. In the same way, a business is no different. If you have the right marketing in place, the marketing systems, if you have the right YouTube content in place, if you have the right people or culture in place, then income will follow those assets. It's really good that we now have a term for this, because we know what those things are called, we can implement them in our own businesses and improve how they function. And assets don't necessarily have to be and assets don't necessarily have to be physical. Assets can be just completely digital. It could be an ebook. It could be some sort of brochure. It could be like online videos that you've just beautifully created for your customers or your potential customers. Or it could even be a database of 1,000 leads that you have, or 1,000 people that you have the emails of that you can market to on the through email marketing. And also subscribers for a YouTube channel. Like every single subscriber is also a potential customer because you can help them solve a problem in their life. Every single person watching this video has some sort of pain points. They have some sort of problem that they want to solve. And if I were to create a solution to that, or if someone else wanted to create a solution to your problems, then most people wouldn't be that hesitant to pay for those solutions. If, for example, someone was desperately trying to lose weight and you have a proven strategy for helping them lose weight, then they're probably going to buy your product if you are able to market to them in the right way. And when I say marketing, I don't mean marketing in the way that that it's not right for that person and you want to sell it to them anyways. That's just scamming people. That's not marketing. The right way to market is to find people who genuinely would benefit from your products and then be able to push content to them and push ads to them if you wanted to spend money on ads and get them to buy that product because that's going to help them, and you're doing it at a place of helping them more so than just making money off of them, because that's not a good enough why to actually make you want to work through a business. Like, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of unpaid hours to actually get a business to the point at which it makes a decent amount of money. And for me personally, for my business, it took me thousands of hours where I was up late into the night trying to get the website to look right, the right copy, to write the right types of ads and the right types of flyers. And there's so much that goes into the back of it. And a consulting firm would have a completely full waiting list if the person that owned it or one of the partners that owned it had a best-selling book. To have money flowing through your business, create new assets, improve the assets you already have, or buy assets that someone else has created for you. Resist the urge to keep focusing on lead generation and sales conversions and hustle. It's better to work on your business than to work in your business. So rather than doing the day-to-day tasks, try and see how you can be more strategic. The day-to-day tasks are mainly done by technicians, people that have specific skills for that particular thing. And even though as a business owner, you probably were in that position before, you used to be a technician, you should be moving towards being more of a strategist, trying to strategize, not trying to get caught up in the day-to-day activities, but trying to coordinate some other people to do those activities for you in a much higher level that no one else in your business can do. Assets have always been the key to generating income. In the past, if you had a farmland, you can get people to work on it and then make money off of the crops. And if you had a factory in the past, in the Industrial Revolution, then people would work for you and then you'd make the money off of the manufactured goods. Assets have always been the way that people make money. And if you've ever played Monopoly before, you know that in order to win the game, you have to buy greenhouses and red hotels. Otherwise, you just lose. And in the past, the best assets to own would have been property and farmland or factories or basically something that was physical. But these assets don't give as much reward as in the past. Not just that, if you live in any of the major cities, you know that the prices of property can be inflated and oftentimes volatile. Owners of digital assets are the ones making the most money in today's business landscape. If you own digital assets such as intellectual property, brands, products, algorithms, websites, software, you have the assets that are required to make a considerable amount of money. In this video where I'll go through all the 24 assets, you'll have the blueprint to create an ecosystem of digital assets that will scale your business. And a simple definition of a business asset is something that's unique to your business and will continue to provide value for it even if somebody leaves that business. So as the owner, if you step aside from the business, that asset will still continue to provide value for your customers and also for the rest of your team. Here's the overview of the 24 assets. There are 7 broad categories of assets. There's intellectual property, so the business lays claim to or is known for valuable ideas. There's brand assets, so the business is known, liked, and trusted by a group of loyal fans. There's market assets, where the business can sell products. There's product assets, where the business has created unique products and services that are either difficult to replace or difficult to compete with. There's systems assets. The business has a set of systems and processes that allow it to run more efficiently than its rivals while still delivering the same or better quality. There's also culture assets. The business is able to attract, retain, develop, and manage good people at a lower cost than its competitors. There's also funding assets, so the business is able to get investors to invest in the business to help it scale faster. So first, let's discuss the intellectual property assets. So asset one is content. So in today's digital world, content is king. And the content you create differentiates you and allows people to get to know your business. So content clarifies your thinking. You need to focus on what you share to your audience when you write something or create video content. Content is scalable. Until recently, you needed a publisher for distribution. But today, with the internet, you can upload your content. It becomes freely available to a global audience of billions of people. And content is cheap to produce. Making videos used to be really capital intensive in the past. It would have been insanely difficult to produce videos, so much so that most people could just not make videos. Now people have an entire studio in their pockets, and content is shareable. So if there's a client that really likes your work, they can just share your YouTube channel or share your Instagram page or your LinkedIn. And that way, it's so much easier for people to get to know you because you're putting out content. And if you don't put out any content, then it's really hard for people to find you. And by putting out content such as through this YouTube channel, a lot of people from different parts of the world have found my videos. I noticed that there's people from Canada, there's people from the US, there's people from the UK or like even Africa and all these different places that watch my videos. And I could never have been able to sit down and talk to those people directly if it wasn't for me putting out content on YouTube. And all of these reasons makes content a great business tool. Many of the world's most admired businesses evolved out of articles, blogs, white papers, or media created by the founder. And if you are the founder of a business, then you should be producing content on a regular basis. You should be putting out videos or blogs or writing things or putting out a book so then people can find you more easily. So asset two is methodology. So your method is a specific way of getting an outcome, and many complex tasks that you undertake can easily be labeled intuitive. You can express methodologies as diagrams, images, and algorithms, and you can convert these methods into software that helps you undergo the methodology automatically. So there's a particular way that you talk to clients. There's a particular way that you pick up a phone or like make a phone call. There's a particular way that you onboard somebody to your team. If you document these, you can get other members of your team to actually follow them instead of you. So that it frees up your time to work on more high priority tasks. So asset three is registered intellectual property or IP. And you need to document and register intellectual property for it to be legally defensible. This could include registering your business name as a trademark with a government body, registering URLs and social media profiles your business uses on all platforms. Even if you don't intend to use these different social platforms right away, it's a good idea for you to go ahead and just register them so you have access to them and you are the owner of those Instagram handles or those Twitter handles or that particular name for your business is already there. So now moving on to brand assets. Being known, liked, and trusted is a vital asset in today's economy. And think about a company like Nike. Because of their brand, they can charge much higher prices for their shoes. Even if they were made in the same factory as another competitor, they charge hundreds of dollars for their shoes, even though it probably costs $10 for the shoes to be made themselves. And to build brand assets, there's three main areas that you need to focus on. There's the philosophy, the identity, and also having the right ambassadors. So asset 4 is the philosophy. Every brand has a great philosophy that sets it apart, and this typically centers around vision and values of the company. And companies with strong values attract empowered employees, more loyal customers, and fewer stupid decisions. For example, with my own business, Kaizen Education, that I've run outside of this YouTube channel, is focused on becoming my state's most fun, trusted, and effective provider of primary and secondary education to high school students and primary school students. That's our mission. And our values are to help students adopt a Kaizen mindset and excel not just in their studies, but also in life by teaching them the right skills to not just be good at their studies in school, but also be good at managing their time and discipline and setting goals. And these are just important skills to have for them to do better in life. Every successful interview, I always share this mission and values with these employees so they know exactly what our business is aiming for. And I've noticed that ever since I've implemented this a few years ago, the motivation of my employees has just been so much greater. Even within the interviews themselves, those people that I interview and that pass and that I share that story and that information with, they just want to be part of the team. They want to do the best. And I've noticed that when they come in, they have lesson plans. They go extra and they go beyond with their students. And because of that, our students do really well. And because of that, parents and people around this area really like our business. And also just for the customers to know about those mission and values as well. At the start of every single printed document that we give out to them, some sort of like on every single booklet, we have the mission and values written there for everybody to read, for everybody to know about. So the fifth asset is identity. And your brand identity is the way that it looks, feels, sounds, tastes, smells, and behaves on a consistent basis. A business brand must maintain a distinctive identity across all of its platforms. It should look and feel and behave the same on social media, printed materials, websites, retail locations, events, and videos and the like. And the power of the right ambassador can completely transform your business because they already have a following of people that know and like and trust them. So then if they are going to start a business, it's so much easier for them to already have customers or raving fans that would want to get whatever they buy or would want to get whatever they sell. Next, we're going to move on to market assets. According to Priestley, we don't care how much other people are looking to buy something similar. Instead, we care about buying something from someone that we know, like, and trust. And you need to focus on customers at an individual level, not as a group, but as an individual level. And businesses that treat people like the unique people they are and create a product that perfectly matches their needs are the ones that win the right to do business with them. And you have to position your business in the right way in the eyes of your customers. If a client is looking for a better, a cheaper, higher quality product, then your business should come at the forefront of their mind. And asset 7 is positioning. Your objective must be to occupy a clear, unique, and advantageous position in the mind of your potential buyers. There are a few questions you can ask to see whether you would like to be positioned in the minds of your customers in one particular way. So are you the best quality? Are you the most affordable? Are you the most convenient? Are you the most trusted and reliable? Are you the most delightful to work with? There are also other ways to position your business. For example, with awards or accreditations, or with acknowledgement from industry leaders or high-level publications. If the news did a segment on your business, and provided hopefully it's a positive segment, then you're more likely to get customers because they're going to think of your business so much more highly and that it's positioned in a much more mature and effective way. And asset 8 is channels. And a channel to market, also known as a distribution channel, is a way that products, services, or communications get to your customers. And there are two main types of channels. There are own channels and there are earned channels. And own channels are the ones that you have created yourself. So this could be your own YouTube channel, your own Instagram following. There's something that has taken you quite a long time to build, but now that you've built it, you can monetize it. It could also be your website. Whereas an earned channel is something a bit like when you go to someone else's podcast. That's their own audience, and you've earned the rights to, have an audience with their audience or to have an interview at that area because let's say you're highly skilled in something or that something that you have to say is highly sought after. And that is why you've earned the right to be on that channel. Asset 9 is data. Now, data is the key to personalization and it is the key to owning the relationship with someone. And I've seen many businesses now that use quizzes and that use some sort of test to try and get their customers to check what their customers really need and whether they need that service or whether they need a specific type of service or product. Giving your customers a quiz, not only is it fun for them to do, but it gives them a lot of data that they can use to make it a decision. Like for my own business, I actually get people to do an assessment. And it's from that assessment that I can then recommend whether they need personalized tutoring or whether they need group class tutoring, whether they need group class tutoring. I've seen other businesses where, you do some sort of quiz or you do some sort of scorecard, and then from that information, that business would recommend different products. And you can create these quizzes to see how you can best help address your customers' pain points. Okay, now on to my favorite part of the business process, and this is product assets. And a product is a good or service that you can sell to a client, and it doesn't have to be physical. And to make your business perform as good as it can be, there should be 4 products in your product ecosystem. There should be a gift, a product for prospects, there should be your core product, and there should be your product for clients. So there's 4 things that you need to focus on. Asset 10 is gifts. A gift is a product that you can give away for free. It could be a physical gift or it can be something digital, such as reports, podcasts, videos, samples, events, slideshow presentations, or apps that cost very little to give away, but are incredibly valuable. Because it's when you give that initial gift to somebody that they want to do business with you. If you give things out for free, generously, people are going to want more, especially if it's high quality. They're going to want to do business with you because you've provided them with so much value. And that helps you build a good relationship with somebody. So in terms of a good gift to have, this could be PDFs, ebooks, white papers. This could be YouTube videos, content. These are all different types of free things that you can give away. So for example, for the micro business that I'm starting online with the Casper notes, the free thing is the Casper videos. I make videos that would help people understand how to do well on that test. And if anyone who doesn't know what Casper is, it's basically just a test to get into med school. And then on top of that, I have a product for prospects where people can buy notes. And in the future, I will make a core product. And then after that, I'll make a product for clients as well, depending on how well that area of my main business goes. And asset 11, product for prospects. Once you've already captured a prospect's attention, next you'll need a product for the prospect. And this can be a relatively small product that can give them a taste of what they can get if they work with you. It could be some sort of booklet or some low price bundle of notes, or it can be a paid consultation. And if they've already received a gift, they will most likely want to buy the product for prospects. And onto asset 12, this is your core product. And this is going to be your main source of revenue. Audi's core product is cars. Apple's core product is technology and iPhones and their MacBooks. And this will be what your business is known for. Gifts and products for prospects are usually simple and offer some sort of educational entertainment, but the core product resolves the actual pain point that your customers have. And a core product isn't just ideas or information. A core product is implementation. You might walk through with the client how to do something, but you're specifically trying to solve a client's problem in a more active way. So asset 13 is your product for clients. The product for clients are additional things that happy customers can purchase. This could be subscriptions to a member site, or for a car company, this could be insurance or financing for one of their cars. And for Apple, this could be something like iCloud. So many people who buy iPhones, they get upsold iCloud or extra storage or some sort of other thing from Apple, such as Apple Care or Apple Music. And that's their product for clients. So next we're on to systems assets. So design your business with systems so it can be run efficiently with less of your input. And your business can now punch well above its weight, even if it's small, by using the right systems and by leveraging the internet. For example, in my tutoring business, I use a client management software. So rather than physically making invoices, the system makes invoices for me. And rather than manually having to look for bank transfers, I have an online gateway that helps to deduct payments. And rather than, having to message all my employees when they have work, I have that system that basically shows them when the hours are. It's very easy for me to book people in, to move things around, and it's having that system that helps me to run that business as efficiently as I can. And if you're a business owner or a future business owner, you're going to spend a lot of time and effort trying to do these things if you don't have a software or a system to help you manage all your clients and your invoices. Even though it might appear expensive, paying a few $100s every single month for certain services, it's definitely worth it, because that's money that you're spending to get back time. And time you can't get back. And time, as someone that owns a business or is planning to run a business, is the most valuable asset. Because once you lose time, or once your time is taken up in some other thing, you're missing out on very high priority tasks that only you can do as the owner. So asset 14 is marketing and sales. In order to drive leads, sales, and referrals to your business, you need to create strong systems. The important assets you'll need to put in are images, marketing copy, video, audio, and targeting criteria. And when you get this right, you'll find it hard to stop the leads flooding in. For example, if you combine content distribution, such as YouTube videos, with some sort of way to capture those people watching and then get them to, view your website, then you're driving a lot more traffic to your website and to your products. And in the same way, because you're content marketing, so for example, because you're putting out videos on YouTube or videos on Instagram, the algorithms, they find the best audience for you, because they find the people that are actually interested in watching this video. Because not everyone's interested in watching this video. It's going to be a long video, and it's on a very niche topic that most people don't want to watch. Most people would rather watch cat videos, or they'd rather watch something funny. As a business owner, you don't want those people to be watching your videos. They're not worth as much, because they're unlikely to become future customers of yours. You want people that actually care about your product, that actually care about your process, and that potentially would like to do business with you. And when customers buy something from you, you should onboard them onto your system. You should get them to get onto your system, or have their email stored somewhere that you can continually communicate with them. And you can do this in a way that's very positive for the customer. You can do it by providing free videos or free guides. And people love this because maybe they bought a $15 product, but they got something that was worth hundreds of dollars on the back of that for free. And it doesn't take that much time for you to make a video, and you can distribute that to hundreds of people, thousands of people with very minimal effort. And also ensure that you have a system that helps you to track how many sales are coming in. So how many people are applying to work with you and who are actually paying. And as a business owner, having that data helps you to make the big decisions to run your business in the right direction. Now on to asset 15, management and administration systems. The worst thing you can do as a business owner is focus too much of your time and energy on administrative tasks. You should have a system that pays suppliers on time, that collects money from clients, tells your employees when they have work, and this should be put in place so that you don't have to waste time doing that yourself. And this way it can also make it easier for your team to communicate with each other. So carefully select metrics that you can use to track performance, and anything you measure will improve. Asset 16 is operation systems. And this is how you get things done and provide customers with what they paid for in a predictable way. The long-term success of your business is only done if you can deliver remarkable value to your customers every time they purchase from you, whether that's a service, whether that's a product. If you have a system for delivering value in a consistent, predictable, and a way that makes the customers happy and solves their problems, then your business is going to be thriving. So next I'm going to be talking about culture assets. So you need the right assets in place to create a high-performing team. A true test of culture is your ability to attract, develop, and retain highly skilled employees without overpaying them. And you need to go just beyond the job descriptions and invest into advanced assets such as videos that explain the mission and values, and such as resources that help them to do their job more easily. And if you're running a small business, it's going to be hard to attract world-class talent. Instead, you need to either start with young people who are passionate, or some people who require flexibility in the corporate world, such as parents or remote workers and the like. And you still need to create the assets to train, develop, and cater for these people so that they can provide as much value as possible to your customers. Asset 17 is key people of influence. Every business would do exceptionally well if they have people who are thought leaders in their field. This will help the business grow, even if the founder isn't a key person of influence, but because they are a thought leader in their industry, people think of them whenever they think of the thing that they're trying to sell. And this will help the business grow even faster than the founder ever could. And one asset that can help with this is a book. The book that will completely change your life is not a book that you'll read, but it's a book that you write, because you can clarify your thoughts and you can put them out there. And people still read a lot of books. And if they read your book, then they're spending hours going through your own ideas and getting to kind of know how you think and know your ideas. And if they resonate with you, or if they like your ideas, then they're so much more likely to be a fan of yours. And then after being a fan of yours, they're so much more likely to actually be a future customer. And asset 18 is sales and marketing. Even if you've created a sales system, you'll most likely need someone in sales to bring in clients. And in order for these salespeople to do well in bringing in and securing clients, you'll need to make assets that help the first 90 days of work be a memorable experience that sets them up for a great several years of working with them. And in order to help these salespeople do well in bringing in and securing clients, you need to make the assets that help them do their job much more easily. So for example, if you have some sort of marketing campaign which helps bring in more people, constantly giving them warm leads, then these salespeople have people that they can sell to. So they can spend less time trying to find leads and more time trying to convert the leads that are already interested in the products that they have. So asset 19 is your management and administration. And someone who's a great manager translates a vision of the leader into a small actionable steps and delegates responsibilities, measures performance, and generates reports, and ensures a smooth internal operation of the business. It's important for the management team and the administration team to work together with high performers and treat management in a way that ensures that resources are optimally allocated. So asset 20 is technicians. A business revolves around solving problems for their clients. You need to have a technician in your business that have the right skills to deliver the value to your customers. In the same way that you need barbers to cut hair, or you need farmers to farm the land, you need to have the right people that have the right skills in order to give your customers the best experience possible. The next I want to move on to are funding assets. So this is the assets that would help us secure funding from investors, and also give us a more top-down view of the business and where it's going. So asset 21 is a business plan. And your business plan clearly defines where the business is heading, the challenges it will face, and the risk it will reduce, and the opportunities it will develop, and the returns you expect. And if you're running a boutique business, some sort of lifestyle business, then you probably don't need to have a professionally created business plan because you're keeping things relatively small. But if you want to create a performance business, a business with many employees, hundreds of employees, and you want to have a huge IPO, you're going to need investors. And investors are not going to look at a poorly drawn out business plan from a random person or someone who's just starting out. Instead, it's important that you actually go to a some sort of firm that actually specializes in creating business plans for you. And because they're professionals and they've created this for you, investors are more likely to look at that and be like, okay, this is pretty good. It's written very well, and they're going to be more likely to invest their money into your business. So asset 22 is your business valuation. Now, your business is worth a certain amount on the market. Someone can buy your business, but you have to get it valued from a professional. So you'd answer questions about your cash flow, your assets, and you'd give this to this person, and you'd give it to this firm, and they will actually do all the calculations and give you a whole report on how much your business is valued. And when I was restructuring my business, I had to also do a business valuation, and I had to give them a lot of information, and then from that information they were able to deduce the actual worth of my business at the time. And they give me a very detailed breakdown of my assets, my liabilities. It was a very good strategic view of the business as a whole. And it's almost like a health checkup for the business, because if there's something really bad about the business, for example, if you have no assets, if you're really just an intermediate who's selling someone else's assets to somebody else, then your business isn't going to be worth that much, because who's to say that person can't just sell that to that person directly? You're just a middleman. You could be easily cut out. Asset 23 is your business structure, and it's a very important decision that you're going to make. So there's four main types of structures, at least where I live in Australia. There's a sole trader. So you're working basically as your own entity. So you are the business. There is a partnership where you're partnered with another person or maybe a few other people, and you each have part of the business. But the business is basically parts of you guys. You're holding on to more liability that way. So a sole trader and a partnership, they both make you the entity. Like, you are a person, and if something goes wrong with the business, then you are at fault directly. That's a very dangerous position to be in. And a lot of people, they start businesses as sole traders and they don't understand the risks. Because if something goes wrong with that business, maybe it's a business where, I don't know, maybe you're like a beautician or like maybe you do something medical. But if you're a sole trader and you make a mistake, people come after you. Like, you could lose your own personal assets. If you make a huge business off the back of being a sole trader and someone sues you, or let's say the bank comes for your liabilities because you can't pay things on time, then you're going to lose your own personal assets. You could lose your house. So it's very dangerous to be a sole trader or partnership. Partnership, like, man, there's a lot of things I could say about partnerships. I think that partnerships are probably the most dangerous types of businesses to start. Because sure, maybe you want to start a business with your best friend or with a bunch of friends, but people change when money is involved. People change so much. Maybe I'll tell you guys a story that happened to me like years ago on this. I'm not sure if I should share it, but like most partnerships don't work out, because let's say you're working really hard at something, they might not be working at the same rate. And I know some people that I know that run businesses or that have started businesses where they have a partnership. So there's them and there's two other people, and they're running like a clothing brand, but two of them just aren't putting enough effort. But this other person that I know is putting in so much effort, and it's this imbalance that you don't want to be in the middle of that. There's a lot I could say with this. There's a lot of risks involved with these two types of business structures. The other two types of structures are called limited liability structures, or the structures where you don't really have as much liabilities. So this could be a PTY Ltd, so a private company, a private corporation, or it could be a public company. But either way, these are separate entities from you. It's its own entity, not you. So if something goes wrong with that business, well, that business is at fault, not necessarily you. And it helps to protect your assets. So even though I mentioned that those fall, there's also other different types of businesses. There are trusts, there are charities, which technically aren't businesses, but a lot of charities try and run themselves like a business where the people who are running it are actually taking a lot of the money. But I would recommend against it. I think a lot of universities are non-for-profits as well. There's a lot of tax benefits to stuff like that. I don't think universities in Australia pay any tax, if I'm not mistaken, even though they make millions of dollars. And like I said, and going back to investors, if your investors think that you have a risky business structure, they're not going to give you money, right? They're not going to invest in your business if you're a sole trader, if there's no equity for them to gain. So most of the time, it'll be a private company, a PTY Ltd, a private limited liability company, or a public company, that the shares will be given to the investors, and the investors would hold onto part of the company's ownership. Next is asset 24, risk mitigation. Every investor or lender is interested in the opportunity or upside of their investment, but equally important to them is a potential loss of capital. And investors are concerned about what might happen to investors are concerned about what might happen to a business if a particular person leaves, if there is a legal case that arises. That what if the leadership team makes a stupid decision? What if someone runs off with the money, right? Like, these different types of things our investors fear. And you want to mitigate as much of this risk as possible in order to get investors to actually invest in your business. If you started a business in a country or part of the world that is not politically stable, good luck getting investors. Most people aren't going to invest there. Whereas if you start a business in a Western country like America or Australia, you're much more likely to get funding because Australia is a more secure country than somewhere like Afghanistan. But most of these concerns can be addressed with a few key assets: a well-constructed shareholders agreement, an experienced board of directors, guarantees, warranties, and debentures. But these are all the 24 assets that you have to understand to get your business to being profitable, and not just profitable, but being run well. And if you can get the best assets possible for every single one of these sections, then money will just come flowing in. Customers will love your products. They'll keep talking about your products to their customers, and you'll never run out of clients. You'll be oversubscribed, as Daniel Priestley says. And I highly, highly recommend you actually purchase this book, because I purchased this book. I've read through it multiple times. And if you want to start a business, you have to, I would actually say that this is required reading for anyone that wants to start a business, or for anybody who's already started a business and is already part of the way through that journey.